Yeah, it's your boy Hot Sizzle Man, aka Mr. Floydo, aka Salsa Caliente, aka Barack Obama. You already know what it is, man. Shout out to the Boom Squad family.
Hi guys, welcome to WedChat. Today we have DJ Joel with us, and he is with Direct Sounds DJ, as well as you kind of do your own thing too, right?
Yeah, we do some Boom Squad stuff. Joel or Hot Sizzle, you know.
Hot Sizzle. We love that.
Yeah.
Hot Sizzle Man on Instagram. And today we're just going to be talking a little bit about some DJ stuff, which I have a lot of questions about because I know nothing about it. What do DJs do? Because I know a lot of people, you get the idea of like, oh, you just hit play and it's a playlist.
Yeah,
but
that's
there's
it.
A lot
You
more, right?
set up everything, you push play, and that's it.
Yeah,
you know?
and you're good to go.
But that's the common misconception. I can't talk for all DJs, but myself, I know how I handle what I do just to make a good event overall. And a lot of it is my pre-planning, stuff like that. So even before kind of going in the consistency of the weddings that I'm doing, you know, it started with like helping out friends and, you know, building their schedule, almost taking on like a planner role, right? So I feel like that kind of gave me an edge in the volume that I'm doing now in, you know, the planning processes, things like that, you know. So when I have conversations with clients, you know, one of the last things we talk about is actually music, you know, so I get a feel. I like asking how old their guests are, where they're from, kind of music, you know, the formalities that they're looking for, and kind of just get that foundation of, you know, what they're trying to do kind of thing. And then
Get the vibe.
Get the vibe a little bit. And then going into music, putting their favorite artists together, their favorite songs, you know, and then just putting together the cocktail hour, the dinner, you know, and just creating that consistent flow leading into the dance floor, things like that, you know, and then the button pushing, you know, things like that.
What are you doing behind that booth? Because I know I see you guys all the time just like pushing buttons and you look really focused and you're like trying to kind of bop, but you're also like doing all this crazy stuff. Like, what the heck is going on back there?
Right. So a lot of it's like, talking like during like the dance floor kind of stuff. So a lot of different things going on. So like a song is playing, people are dancing, you know, I like analyzing the room, you know, and just kind of figuring out what we're going to do next, you know. So when you see the DJs wearing the headphones, a lot of the times they're listening to the next song. You pick the next song that's kind of coming in, and then so you blend it and mash it together. So you got one in the ear, it's coming in, and just picking a good spot when to fade out of that first song and then kind of go into the next one.
Yeah.
And then doing the cool style of, you know, mixing it in, mashing it in.
Yeah.
However,
those cool transitions.
Right. It's kind of chaotic, you know, songs playing. You have like 30 seconds left. You're like scrambling, what song? And that's a lot of what's going on, you know, it's just kind of like what I'm playing, analyzing what I'm going to the next song, listening to it. It's like, oh, I don't like that song. Put this song on. And all this goes back to the pre-planning too. So in DJ terms, they're like called crates. So you put like different crates together of like, you know, Schyler's wedding here, right? Having those songs ready, lining them up in, you know, a BPM fashion, how fast they are, things like that. And then bringing them in when it's a good time, you know, knowing song placement, understanding the mood, understand where the guests are with alcohol, you know, because that helps.
That's always important.
And then just knowing when the right time to play the right songs are. And that's, aside from the mixing and everything, I feel like what's most important is song selection and just knowing when. And that just takes doing a lot of events and knowing what to play next kind of thing. You know what I mean?
So a lot of the time, it sounds like you go into a wedding with kind of a list of songs you want to use. And do you just like kind of switch them around depending how the dance floor is doing?
A little bit, yeah. So I give, so in those pre-planning meetings, you know, whether they give me a list of music, they put a playlist together. So I'll get every single song that I think they'll like, that they like, their must plays, things like that, and just put it in a big kind of crate. I usually split it up like dinner, cocktail hour, dance floor, right? And then for my dance floor, like you said, I'll have that big list and then determining on speed, genre, and then just going off that, you know, instead of, you know, opening up, you know, the selection to the millions of songs that are out there,
right?
You know, because that'll cause panic to a DJ.
Oh yeah.
You know? So just knowing,
it'd be scary,
right? So just knowing what the couple wants, you know, they're the ones you want to keep happy, you know. So and then just going off that, let's say they want this must play, be like, oh, this song will go good with it, go with the vibe, stuff like that. Picking off that list and kind of just knowing when and where, you know, and also the challenge of old people, young people, stuff like that.
Right.
So when I open up a dance floor, my main priority is the older people, because I know the drinkers and the younger people, they're good. They're going to hang out. They're going to drink. They're going to party to the end, you know, but I don't want to single out the older people. So I'll start with some universal stuff, you know, depending on the crowd. You know, you can do like September, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Bruno Mars is always like a good universal, kind of get everyone dancing. So get the older people going a little bit, make them have fun, not singling out age groups, things like that.
Right.
And I'm never worried about the drinkers and partiers, you know, knowing what I know and, you know, how I get down, as they say.
Yeah.
You know, I know I'm going to get them at, you know, towards the end, you know, and alcohol definitely helps with that, you know, and just kind of bringing the party and making it lively, things like that.
So can you kind of spot who the partiers are going to be before the party even starts?
Pretty much, yeah. Let's say you open up a dance floor, it's kind of dull a little bit. So you got to latch on to those that want to party, want to dance, you know, so you get them going and you kind of look to them to get everybody else going a little bit,
right?
You know,
Yeah.
So even like during cocktail hour, I'll walk around, I'll introduce myself, and then just kind of getting those social cues from, you know, the different guests in the crowd, how they're going to interact, or if there's someone hyped in the bridal party, I'm like, you're my man, you're my man. We're going to get it going. I'm going to lean on you, kind of stuff. So going into any event, I usually try to spot those out. And they're crucial, you know, they kind of help things going, dance floor going, you know, that's all I can say.
The life of the party.
Right. That helps.
We love that. Yeah.
For sure.
So I can't imagine like just having like one song playing in your ear, one song playing in, you know, the whole room, and then you're watching people and how they're interacting and what's, you know, what's working, what's not working. Like I would get so overwhelmed. And then to have like, while you're doing that, have someone come up and go like, oh, play this song. And you're like, I have this whole mapped out. Like,
right. You got to stay calm, you know, and it also stems to like, at the end of the day, you got to have a passion for doing it. You know, that's what I think sets people aside. If you don't have a passion for music, you don't have a passion for the job that you're doing, it can be kind of chaotic. So with me, when I'm up there, I'm big on my appearance, how it looks, you know, have a little swagger, because at the end of the day, you got to have the confidence, because everyone's kind of looking at you. Everyone's kind of depending on you to kind of keep the party going, you know, so songs going on, you got one in the ear, you know, requests, you know, so I'm all about requests. On me, it's how they come up to me. You know, if someone's like, hey, can you please play this song at any point, whenever? Cool, I'm going to play your song. If someone comes up and they're like, hey, can you play the song next? I'm like,
now.
Next? Yeah. If they say now or next, I'm not playing it at all, you know? So
yeah, that's fair.
Don't come at me mean, you know, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
You know, let's just have fun for the night.
Exactly.
You know, so.
And then there's me running up to your booth, like, play the Cupid Shuffle. Play it now.
Right. And that I'm all for that, you know? I feel like, yeah, when we work that wedding together, it's like, that's what makes a good event, you know, like we were having fun, we were dancing, you know, and it all stems to everything. Yeah, where the booth is, you're kind of center stage. So, you know, have fun, and because your energy is going to vibrate to the crowd. You know, I've seen DJs where they're DJing and then I look at them and they're on their phone texting. How do you expect the crowd to vibe if you're not vibing with them? You know, when you're distracted by, you know, your phone, these texts, other things going on, you know, engage, you know, have fun with them.
Yeah.
And then keep keeping it alive, you know, and that's why I always like to think that people are looking at you all the time, you know, so act accordingly, I would say. So have fun and us dancing behind the booth. That's all it's all part of the party, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the real party at that wedding was behind the DJ booth.
100%. It's a VIP.
Me, you, and the second shooter were like jamming.
The VIP section.
Yeah, and it's nice too, because for photographers, it's really nice knowing we always have a place to put our stuff, and it always ends up behind your booth and like probably totally in your way. We're just like throw it back there, and then we're nonstop back there hanging out with you. And if it's if you're a good DJ, it makes it more fun for us, because we have to kind of be back there with you sometimes.
Yeah, we got a vibe, I always like keeping a set place for photography, unless they're mean,
Then go put your stuff somewhere else.
Right. I like introducing myself, and then hey, I'm friendly, you can put it here, no worries. There's enough space for everybody there.
Yeah. I always ask, even though it's kind of like known already, like photographer puts their stuff behind the DJ booth, I'm like, hey, is this okay? Is this going to be in your way? And they're always like, duh. Obviously, I'm like, okay, I just want to make sure.
We always appreciate asking, you know.
Yeah, just go throw like a giant wagon full of stuff back there.
Right. And I've had it before where photographers are just, they're not very chatty and they just pull it in. And I'm like, whatever, you know. What I'd say, what me personally, like I said, I don't know about any other DJs with photographies and videographers. What I don't like is when they like set their bags like off to the side or like in front, where like guests can see it.
Right.
Because it could be a reflection on me, you know, like look how sloppy that DJ is. He has bags all over and they're not my bags.
Right.
You know,
right.
that's the way I see it.
That's true.
And I'm very quick to correct them. I'm like, hey, you know, just grab that, put it behind here. It's all good. We got a lot of room
just
back
scoot
here.
It over.
And I see one of them said, they're like, no, I need access to this. I need to put it right here. And then I'll step in stern. I'm like, hey, it's a reflection on me.
Right.
Please hide it.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good.
Yeah, because your booth looks nice. I mean, you have the white cover, and I'll put a picture of it. And you have like, you cover even like the stands for the speakers and everything. I mean,
yeah, I think that's huge. You know, a lot of DJs think my spinning and scratching is gonna, you know, I don't need all that kind of stuff, you know, but I'm huge on, especially when you're dealing with a wedding, they're spending thousands of dollars on flowers, all these vendors kind of thing. They're not looking for like, unless they want it, like a super turntablist kind of stuff. So very, very big on, you know, the appearance of how things look. Like you saw the white, they're called facades. So you saw the white one. I have different paneling where I can change those out to an all black. I like that look with the black skirts on speaker stands, white skirts on speaker stands. Just kind of match the look of the room and the theme. I even have these rustic boards.
oh, really?
I don't use them all the time because they're heavy.
Yeah. And they have to fit the wedding.
They have to fit the wedding. So like rustic style weddings, they love it. They're real nice. My friend Kevin, the Great Design Company, shout him out real quick. He made those for me, and with like handles and everything. So maybe like a higher end wedding, rustic wedding, I'll bring those. I'm huge on that, hiding all the cables, taping down everything, because you got to take pride in your setup.
Yeah.
So, and I'm really big on that.
You always change into like a full suit, and I'm like, man, that's wild.
So I'm also big on that, you know, even when working with we have meetings with the direct sounds guys and everything. I probably spend $200 on haircuts a month. So I get a haircut a week, right? And they ask me, what's the most important part of DJing? I'm like, haircuts, you know, you got to look good, stuff like that. So when I show up, I have my little processes. I'll show up in my Lululemon shorts with my old shoes, and usually like a black shirt. And you know, you don't want to sweat in the suit you're going to have in.
Right.
So I set up with that, and then my process. So when the ceremony, I'll put on pre-ceremony music. So right when I turn on pre-ceremony music, I'll go to the bathroom and start changing into a suit. And again, DJs don't have, you can wear a suit or not, you know, but I'm going to wear a suit, you know.
It's that extra touch.
The extra touch. Even during the summertime, they said, hey, if you guys want to wear polos, you can. And I said, no, I'm going to wear a suit. You know what I mean? It makes me feel good, gives me the confidence, and, you know, you're talking in front of everybody. Again, back to the appearance, you know, the fresh haircut, you know, having the suit, you know, taking care of myself. I like running, you know, stuff like that. I think that's big that a lot of people don't think about, you know, and that's, again, goes into the passion of things, being full time in it. This is all, we're not even talking about DJ and music, you know,
right,
I think this is very step one of everything.
Yeah. It's important though. I feel like it goes for every vendor too.
Right.
You have to look professional. If your photographer, you know, is in like leggings and a t-shirt, it's kind of like.
Right. And that's what stands you out. DJs are a dime a dozen, you know, and that what stands me out is being extra, having those haircuts, you know, and to me it's worth it. To some it's not.
That's a lot of the reason I wanted to have you for my magazine styled shoot. I had you join in for that, which was super cool and super fun. Right. But I was like, I know Joel's going to like make the booth look nice. I know he's going to look good. Like it's going to be good because you can't, you know, obviously hear music from a magazine.
Right.
And so that was really important to me because I was doing more reception theme style kind of thing rather than like focusing on ceremony. So it was cool having you there and having everything really tidied up.
I was wearing a suit. It's not on the cover, but I was wearing a suit, like I love that picture of when I was with the couple. Yeah, going into it, I had your back, and I think those speakers I used they were brand new out the box, so they were nice and shiny.
That's cool. I didn't even know that.
And yep.
My favorite part of it too was it was in June and it was really hot. And you were wearing like basketball shorts on the bottom because you couldn't see. It was styled shoot. It doesn't matter, know, just from the top up.
but the shorts were Lululemon, so
so they were fancy.
They were fancy shorts. They were fancy shorts. Right.
Well, one of the things that I love following you on is TikTok. These are my top 3 favorites.
Top 3. This is a newer one. Okay, I thought you would have picked another one, but this one's good.
This is one of my favorites. I think it's because like from an outsider's perspective, right? We don't know anything about DJing or any of that. So you kind of give this view a little bit in a funny way into what you do.
Yeah, you got to make it relatable. And it's come to the point where, we got a load of traction off the TikToks where I'll show up to an event now and the staff or whoever's there gets excited, be like, I want to make a TikTok. Let's make a TikTok, so and I love that. I'm all about it, so and just making them relatable, funny, but more so using those top relatable trends and sounds. So Mike, this is the miking up the Officiant. This is I believe Akatillo.
What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
This was good. We got Ryan looking like Sonic the Hedgehog over here.
What do you want?
I love how there's so many options too. I mean, you have like 4 or 5 different things. You're like, pick one, and he's just like,
right. So to me, I like giving the client experience. Some people are okay with putting a microphone on a stand. If I have to, I will. But being a photographer, do you like that?
Not really.
Right. So, my preference is the over the ear. I call it the Britney Spears mic, simply because
or like security guard style.
Because it sounds better than a lapel on the tie. Because it's right by the mouth, a lapel on the tie. If there's any kind of wind, it'll pick it up, So I'm big on sound, making it sound good. And when you go up to the officiant, they're like, "Hey, what are you gonna do to me?" And just like, "Do I get a lapel?" And I'm just like, So this was the video that created it, and I got this idea because this happened with an officiant in a Sedona wedding I did, because I'm like, "Hey, I got an over the ear," and they're like, no, I cannot have that. I'm not gonna look good in that. I'm like, "All right, do you want a handheld mic?" They're like, "Well, I need my hands." So you want a lapel? And that's how I get the ideas. It's just real life situations, and then I turn it into a funny video with werewolf Ryan, with the hairy neck,
With the hairy neck, the call out.
Right.
So this next one, of course, I'm biased.
This should have been you.
I know, right?
Should have been you.
I wanna take a bit with Cardi B inside my cardigan. Niggas know I love, they call me Shorty, Mr. Tardy Man. I just smoke my weed and fuck these hoes, I'm not no party man. Hit the plug and take the gas, you take.
And I do this exact thing to DJs all the time where I'm like, I'm gonna get a picture of you, and then it's like a smile, and then I'm like,
right,
do something cool.
And it was firsthand experience, when I thought about the idea. It wasn't a photographer, it was a videographer. And then especially when like there's no transitions going on and they just got like the camera on you, and I'm just like, "Hey," so I smile, and they're like, "Hey, do something." I'm like, "Well, I'm not going into the next song yet." I'm like, "Do you want me to like fake?" So now when a videographer goes up to me, I'm just trained now. So I just turn knobs. I'm not doing anything.
Right.
It's just for the video. So I just for the video, and when they see the video, it makes sense now. But when they come with their final product, it looks cool, but I'm not actually doing anything.
Right. You're not doing anything, but nobody else knows.
Right. So this is where the idea stems from. Again, this exact situation in this video happened in real life. I was big on Vine. I like being on Vine and just making videos. And a little side story, back in the day, I was trying to develop this video radio show called Radio Viva. So Radio Viva. Can you say radio?
I don't know if I can.
It's like you roll the R. So
Radio
Viva. My name was Salsa Caliente. So my intro was Radio Viva, aquí con Salsa Caliente. Aquí estamos, along those lines. So the premise of the videos was when I was DJ back in the clubs, and I would run into just like random celebrities or like basketball players, stuff like that, you know? So I thought it would be hilarious. So I would go up to them and I would say, hey, you know, do you mind if I do like a quick interview? You know, just we have some fans like over here, over there, whatever. So I build it up and I never talk Spanish at all to them. We're just having this and they're just like, all right, cool. So I build it up, up. And then when they push play, I would say, Radio Viva aquí con salsa caliente. Aquí estamos con el Amari Starmeyer. And I would just talk in Spanish. And the premise of the videos were just the reaction. Yeah. So just like I would build up and just getting like those different, you know, local celebrities' reaction where they're just like, wait a minute. And they have no idea what I'm saying. And I thought that was hilarious. Yeah. You know, so.
You ask them a question, they're just like, hi.
Right. So when people always ask, they're like, hey man, help me make videos, this and that. A lot of it is just like the ideas that just my mind is, the way it works is, I don't know how to teach that. It's just like a natural thing that I've always liked being funny. I always liked making these little quirky videos, and just honestly, just entertaining my friends and making them laugh. Yeah. And that's what it stems from. So I can teach you like the editing things, but you know, to be naturally gifted and funny like I am, I'm obviously funny. Exactly. You know, so and it's hard for a lot of people just to put themselves out there. I don't care. I'm comfortable in my own skin, and I like making people laugh, and that's what it's about.
That's exactly why I wanted to throw the podcast out. There's no wedding photography or wedding vendor or like, you know, Arizona wedding podcast, and I was like, I'm gonna fill that space with something fun.
I love it, and I like that I'm early on, you know. So when you have millions of followers, I'll be like, you know that big podcast, I was one of the first ones.
Yeah, I was an OG.
I was the first DJ.
Oh yeah.
So,
and if it does become big and famous, I plan to have all the early people on again.
And I feel that one would be better. You know, I won't say as much. So as we go through, I'm catching my words more.
It's always when you're recording, you start noticing it. It's so hard. So this last one that I have queued up for us, I remember seeing...
I'm curious which one you're going to pick.
It was right after we worked together the first time. It was like the first one you posted after we met. And I was like, wait a second, this guy's hilarious. This one literally, you know when you're like, if you're watching TikTok and you're like kind of scrolling and you're like, like funny, funny. This one had me actually like out loud laugh. Okay. It got me pretty good. Love it. One of my favorites.
Oh, I thought you would have picked this one. I
love this one. I don't know why. It was just the sounds and. Oh, it kills me.
So this was a good stepping stone, because before, when I presented Jeff Jones the idea of like, yo, let me run a TikTok and just see how it does. This is the beginning of the year. We're talking January. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no idea. I was just trying to build. I made a goal to get 1,000 followers for the year. So this video specifically, stepping stone, because I think it was the first one that I did with Jeff Jones. And if you see in this video, at first he was kind of camera shy, and you can see it in this video a little bit. And it was just like, you do this, do that. And I think we had to do a couple takes because, you know, he was a little awkward and weird, you know, but then look at him now, rock star, making videos on his own with videographers. So yeah, I remember this one because the stepping stone of making it with another DJ, or having, because it's making it with him and then including other people in them, you know. But yeah, I feel like this one was
Which one's your favorite? Do you have a favorite?
If you go to the DJ one. I like this one because I involved the whole staff. And I was like, hey, you want to make a TikTok? And they're all busy and they're all like looking at me weird. The only one who was down was Monica. Monica was the chef at Colby Falls, and she's one of my biggest fans. Shout out to Monica. But in this video, if you click it, I'm calling out the security guard. And this is real life. You can relate to this. Right? He was just chilling.
That is pretty accurate. Everybody's working so hard, and then he's just...
I was so scared to see the security guard again, because he's kind of scary. His name's Brandon. He's my favorite security guard. I didn't ask him to be in the TikTok. I was just
filming him.
He was getting food, and I was picking different spots to film the end scenes. And then I didn't ask him, and I just posted it. And then it started like it got traction right away. It hit like 30,000 right away. And I was like, oh man, this is getting a lot of views. And then I didn't see him for a little bit, and talking to the different Wedgwood people, like, oh, that video was hilarious. Everyone's watching it. I was like, and then I was just waiting. And then I saw Brandon again, and he just gave me this look. And I'm like, I have this saying in life. I'm like, is it all good or is it all bad? Because if it's all good, it's all good. If it's all bad, we got to fix it, right?
Right. We got to make it all good.
Yeah. So I'm like setting up for a wedding, and I see Brandon walk in. I was like, geez. I'm like, all right. We didn't talk right away. And I was just like, hey, what's up, man? And he gives me this look. And I'm like, it's all good, it's all bad. And he's like, we're boys.
Yeah.
He thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But like
It's hilarious.
it would have been more funny if we went like millions of views. But
Yeah. And then he's like, what the heck, man?
right.
Now I'm going to do one where it's all the vendors, we're all stressing and working really hard, and then it's the DJ to the like doing
Just chilling.
nothing. Just hanging out.
Or you should do like the DJ with the headphones on, like it's like a packed dance floor, but he's just like playing solitaire on the laptop.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be good.
Right.
Oh man. Well, with that, I think we covered a lot of really good topics. I'm really glad to have you on here and be able to have this little chat with you. And you know, he's awesome. So if you need a DJ, he's awesome. There's a reason he was in the magazine. Come on.
Thank you. That was fun too.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So if you need a DJ, definitely hit him up.
And me up, Hot Sizzle Man. You know what it is. What it is.
You want to give a little rap to send us out?
I don't know. I feel like people got to pay for that.
Oh, man.
Plus, I'm kind of
a little rusty.
Let me practice a little bit. The next time,
okay,
I'll have a rap ready.
Perfect. All right.
Like intro.
You heard it here. Next time we're getting a rap.
Hey, holla at me.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Later. Oh, I forgot there was a camera on.
Sometimes you forget.
See ya.